Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today we're moving on to honey review number 9, where we're looking at this Tasmanian Manuka honey. So I did a little research. I couldn't stop reading the entry in Wikipedia on the Manuka tree and how it's native to New Zealand and Australia. They tried to get it to grow in other parts of the world and with limited or mixed success. And the honey from this tree, the blossoms of this tree, is quite exotic. So I think I've told the story a couple times about how I got into honey tasting because of a dry week in the Whiskey Vault group tribe. On the first day of that particular dry week, Rex and Daniel, the reviewers, brought out some different honeys. It was a tasting kit that somebody had sent them. And it made me run to my pantry and check out different ones, and then it made me order a bunch of honeys from Amazon. And this was the most exotic, far-fetched thing I'd seen at the time. It came from a different hemisphere, came from a different continent. It was eye-opening. So that's what we're looking at today. And as I categorize these for review, I considered putting this into the challenging honeys group. But really, after tasting it a little bit more, it's just different. It's not all that challenging, although some people may not get past the smell. So we'll get into all that. So this particular sample came from Amazon. It was about $21.60 something. So between $21 and $22 for 400 grams, which is not even a pound. And so it was expensive for a honey, which is often $4, $5, $8 a pound for local honeys around here. So when you smell it, it's got a floral, well, look, it's semi-solid. I mean, it's not even liquid. It's not going to run or flow very much. So it's pasty, it's got a lot of solids in it, a lot of sugar has crystallized already. And when you smell it, there's some old, sour, rotting things kind of aroma. If you tried to identify what it was, it's like rotting leaves, rotting wood, something moldy, mushroomy. They are not things you would associate with a nice, light, bright honey thing. So it's very interesting. So when you smell it, it's like public restroom. Nothing you think of is associated with food. So it's very complex, and then the taste is just that complex. So it might be challenging to some, but when you just go ahead and put it on food or taste it, go, oh, that's pretty interesting. So we're going to go ahead and taste it here. It's very thick. It's only partially liquid. And there's a strong floral component. It's a really exotic type of flower or blossom, too. It's not something you can just put your finger on and say, oh, well, I know that flower. It's floral, but you don't know what it is. Or I don't have the range with flowers or vocabulary to talk about the floral character of it, which is really strong in the taste. There's a certain old something in the flavor also. It's complex, it's been around a while, but it's certainly sweet. There's not much of a typical honey characteristic to it. If you're used to orange blossom or wildflower, clover, honeys, things like that are nice and light and liquid, this is a whole different thing. So the flowery notes give it a really exotic character. Lots of Hawaiian honeys are like this because they're made from flowers you're never around, never experienced. And this has a lot of that character. So I like it. It's not, the taste is not nearly as alarming as the smell is. And then there's kind of a richness to it. Once it's on your palate, there's a maltiness or a graininess, roasted grain maybe, that I really like and enjoy. Maybe even a little bit of umami character. Savory, almost meaty. So there's lots of flavor packed in here. Just complex and otherworldly. It's not part of your experience having a honey like this. So this would always get strong reactions in the groups. I would take several honeys to work and have a tasting at lunch or something, and people reacted kind of strongly to this one. But most people settled on liking it. They were just shocked at how different it was. So that's the case here. So I'm going to put this on a biscuit and see how it gets along with food. Put on a knife. It's going to take a knife to scoop it out. A spoon would work, but then you got to spread it. It's almost like butter or jelly to get it onto this buttermilk biscuit that I'm mixing it with. It's so good. So let's see if that character holds up with food. Man, it's almost like gravy. Yeah, the biscuit's not very warm anymore, so it didn't really melt or let the honey flow all over it. So it's certainly sweet, but there's that rich complexity mixes with the bread to almost make it doesn't taste like a biscuit with honey in it, but it's very good. My mind is looking around for something to compare it to. Is that sweet or is that gravy? So it's very, very unusual in food and pleasant. That's good. Now I'm going to put some of it into this tea and see how it does in sweetening tea. And this is a bit of Trader Joe's Irish breakfast tea, I believe. I hope it's still warm enough to dissolve this goo. All these honeys I've been ordering online from Amazon and other places and from the companies themselves have expiration dates on them, and they get relabeled somewhat for U.S. distribution, sale in the U.S. So it's got the USDA type label on it. And I haven't really checked out Tasmanian Honey Company's website since I found everything I needed to know on Amazon pretty much, but I should have done that as some research, but I can link to it in the description below. Okay, this goo is finally flowing and mixing and dissolving. This is a pretty hefty mug of tea, 8 or 10 ounces in there. Still warm enough to dissolve the sugary stuff. Love that stuff. Oh, guess that's an ad for Starbucks. No, this is the Pike Place Market in Seattle. Okay, forget Starbucks. Wow, it's sweet, and that umami uh, leaves and wood type stuff is coming through. It's a very different kind of sweetener, and it goes well with tea. Tea's kind of rotting leaves too, isn't it? It's been a little fermented or a little processed, so it really complements tea. So let's see. My notes that I made before don't give a lot of insight. The nose, sour, musty, fusty, spoiled. Taste, arrival, sour, tart, old, and complex. So I didn't know what to make of it at first. But getting into more and more honeys, I'm really appreciating this one. And coming up soon, I will have a set of challenging honeys that are not going to be people's favorites, not going to be top of the list for popularity, but they'll be interesting when we go through those. And at first I thought this was sort of in that group, but it's not. It's pleasant, and most people are going to get along with it okay, other than the price. $22 a pound, less than a pound. It's not something you're going to have on your table every day, just as a condiment, but it's interesting to try once or twice. So if you like the reviews that you're seeing here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you click on the bell, you'll get notified whenever new videos are released, which we're planning on every Monday and Thursday. I've had a couple gaps so far as I'm becoming a more disciplined content creator. So in the future, we're going to move on from honey in another 20 reviews or so. We're going to move on from honey to black licorice or spicy pickled things or scented soaps with chunks of rough stuff in them. Who knows where all this will lead. But the idea is taste and sensibility. Things that we sense, smell, taste, feel. So I'll keep enjoying my tea, but that's all for now.